So in the Quiet of Colour exhibition, which opened on the 10th of May 2025 at our very own Gallery 21 in the Transwerke building at Constitutional Hill in Braamfontein. Now it features Blessing Blaai, Sizani, Baloyi and Umlungu, where in the Quiet of Colour, colour serves as a veil, billowing into the doorway of this exhibition as we explore alluring and seductive power of colour to distort and manipulate our realities, whether we choose it or not, but also the rose-tinted glasses that we put over our worldview. They're also called into question here, directing us to a reflective sit-down session with the paintings on the wall. And so now we're joined by Kamogelo Machaba, as a multi-disciplinary artist specialising in photography and a creative multimedia specialist and curator, Nkanyezi Gumede. Good morning to the both of you. Thank you for being part of this important chat.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
What an exciting conversation starter. I'm like, where do we begin? Let's start at the beginning. The inspiration, the fusion of color, the importance of telling the story. Who wants to take that first?
I can take that because I curated the show.
Yeah.
And so when we came up with the idea of it was to sort of look at to create a sort of therapeutic world wherein we see what it is that color does for the stories we tell ourselves as people. Because a lot of the time, with the language we use, you know, people say you have rose-tinted glasses over your eyes.
Yes.
But are those rose-tinted glasses hiding red flags that you're not trying to see? Are they in yourself? Yeah. Do you change perspective when you add color to things? Does it make you avoid reality, or does it make you see it for what it truly is? So the point of the exhibition is to kind of investigate ourselves and also the world around us, and see it through different perspectives. So the color is more of a metaphor in the exhibition, but it serves also as a really great way to make the art less intimidating and more approachable.
Yes, it's infused in your work as well. How you express yourself through it is important. Emotions are evoked. We're seeing blue, so it's part of language, which is what Nkanyezi also alluded to. Tell us a little bit more about your relationship to it.
So essentially, I absolutely love color. I find that it's the best way to express yourself. And personally, for me, it's sort of kind of allows you to stand out, you know, at the crowd, and everybody will be like, oh, you're so bright, you're so colorful. You sort of bring this bright energy into the space, into the room. Like we had a little chat and you see it's like quite therapeutic. So I'm realizing that incorporating that not just in my dress sense, but also in art. And I'm quite drawn to a lot of colorful stuff, even in the artworks. So I sort of also help him in terms of like coming up with artists to exhibit, and we sort of figure out. And I think the group that we have currently speak well to each other because they tell very deep stories, but their work is very colorful and whimsical until they tell you and they take off the glasses, and it unfolds and you get to understand, oh, there's a lot of depth within the color. But it still allows you to feel comfortable to engage with the work and not kind of feel intimidated by the work. Yeah. So to me, it makes me very happy and kind of lights up the room, because sometimes you don't always want to see everything black and white. Sometimes you want to see, I guess, things in
the different
blue
color
and
palettes.
Yellow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, different color palettes.
Because color has a frequency as well.
Is a frequency.
And hence the mood enhancer conversation. And so when you incorporate into your creative process, what does that look like? Just before I bring you back into the conversation.
Geez.
Like, do you just sit down, do you dream about it? I guess artists make it sound so easy. It's not normal for the rest of us.
It's intuitive. It's a very... It's like you have an inkling towards it. Like I said, I'm very drawn to colorful things more than, I guess, your neutrals. I think also the frequency plays a huge role, because I kind of have a low frequency when a lot of things are neutral. I don't like it going to... For instance, going to the store and everything is neutral kind of upsets me. I enjoy when I get to a space and it's bright, it's colorful. I feel like there's energy, there's a lot going on. It shows vibrancy, it shows life, it shows character. And I think even as Africans, we have a lot of character in us. We're a diverse country. Like, our flag is colorful. It's got a lot of colors. So why not also embrace that in the work? So I think it comes from that, and just embracing it and not keeping things neutral and black and white, trying to move into, you know, the unexpected.
To Kamogelo's earlier point about, you know, the use of color and its role in perceptions as well. Tell us a little bit more about the artists that are also reflected and how layered their work is, perhaps as you sit down and have that interaction with the work.
Yeah. So this is such a big question because a lot of the colors represent different things. Sizani Baloyi, for example, who is one of the artists who's part of this exhibition, he does a lot of work around essentially demonstrating that there is hope, doesn't matter the circumstances you may come from. So his work is very colorful, but the color represents the emotion, the lessons that you learn from those circumstances, the things you take from being there, but more than anything else, his body of work is around hope, is around, you know, that thing of even if you come from the worst places, you can still make it out. Blessing Blaai, when it comes to the layering, he's incredible with the different, not only the layering in terms of the paint, but also the layering in terms of story. And with his body of work as well, he walks this very fine line between the different realms that we live in, that we exist in. He walks this line between being protected and being in danger at the same time, being within the spiritual and the physical, you know, where life comes from, where life is going, the past, the future, that sort of thing. But all of that, he does it through color. When we did the live interview with him at the opening yesterday, he explained how when he looks at the world, he sees it in shafts of light. So it's reflected in the way he paints, in the way he sort of layers the colors on top of each other. And even on top of that, when we made puzzles out of his work, because it's very geometrical. So we made like actual puzzles that people can get, that you can interact with his work. So you could move one block, put it in another section, move the other block, put it in this section, it makes a whole new artwork, things like that. And then Umlungu, whose name is Courtney, she was the only white person in a school, essentially, for the black people. And they always referred to her as Umlungu. So therefore, she just took it as her artist name, where she has made illustrations, she's made drawings, and she made new artwork for this exhibition specifically to sort of reference it or use it as a therapy to sort of help herself go through the things that she's gone through, to examine her own anxieties and how to sort of make life work even after going through that.
I have to wrap up. I just want closing remarks from both of you. Kamogelo, let me start with you and then you can wrap up. Nkanyezi, we're looking at the conversations that you want to evoke and start through this, the challenges of perception, or the challenges of reality and the perceptions thereof. Tell us a little bit more from your vantage point, what you want people to walk away with.
I would actually, first of all, I think the interviews that we did are quite an eye-opening experience. We witnessed it firsthand where an audience member actually said to us that I had a certain perception about Sizani's work, for instance, and now that he's spoken about it, I have a different understanding. And as soon as we went back after that interview into the gallery, he walked straight back to the work to reflect on it and look at it. So I think people, in as much as it's good to have opinions about artists' work, but try and understand their story. It's always important, I think, to hear their perspective, you know, and take from it. And then, of course, you can sort of do whatever that you want with it. But I also encourage people to be bold in their work and not shy away from telling stories. And I think art is one of the simplest way to speak about very intense stories, but also make it look, I guess, palatable or beautiful. And I invite people to like just challenge themselves and lean into their creativity and their artistic.
Because to be seen, heard, and matters what all of us want at the end of the day. So thank you for speaking to that. And Nkanyezi, as we wrap up very quickly.
To wrap up, it's never just color. It's never just color for the sake of color. There's always meaning. If you look further, if you investigate deeper, there's always something more to be found. There's always more of a story to be found. And even when things look darkest, there's always a light somewhere to find.
Well, it's in your name. Thanks for being a bright, shining star. Kamogelo is all joining us. Kamogelo Machaba and Nkanyezi Gumede, sharing their insights on any kind of color exhibition. Don't miss the thought-provoking experience for us happening at Gallery 21 at Constitutional Hill. Again, thank you to both of them for joining us here at this hour.